Mic check, test, mic check, testing, 1, 2, just making sure my audio's coming through. My bad, y'all. I know it said 1, but I had to get some technical shit taken care of, and then I had to update my graphics drivers, and then I had to get more water because I was almost out. So it's been hydrating, making sure everything's up to speed, taking care of minor technical issues, making the thumbnail, shit like that. But this is mainly going to be for the playback, so I'm just going to get into the habit of doing that, because until I start, getting a lot more people in my chat, I'm going to be like, you know what, this is just for the playback. If people catch it, it is what it is, but, the show must go on, because it be like that. Let me switch to this screen. Take your time. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate it, dog. But, yeah, a bitch has been tired. Welcome back to Spinning with the Block, you guys. I am Nixus. I've been worn the fuck out. I don't know what's been going on. Well, there's a lot that's been going on. I'm not going to say I don't know what's going on, because then I'd just be gaslighting myself. It has been a rough month. May was rough. I'm like, can we move past that? June is good too, but there's just been so much happening lately, especially in the news, and in terms of racial relations. The things are shifting around a lot, and people's personal attitudes have been shifting a lot. The tides have been shifting, and I've always, I don't want to say pride myself, but unfortunately I have the gift of, some people call it discernment, other people call it empathy. I don't know. I just feel like I'm too tapped in to I'm trying to put this into words that doesn't sound like I'm just high off my ass, because I am, by the way. I've got Benjamin number 2 over here. I think this might be the indica, or it might be the blue dream. I'm not sure. I need to go and get some more soon, but my money's been kind of tight just because bills need to be paid and my parents need help. So, like, I gotta help them out. I'm not gonna hoard all this money and be like, oh no, you can't have any, because I get paid every week, so I'm not stressing. But hey, Miss Ashley, welcome. Good to see you. Shit has been hard, Noah. It has been a rough time, especially in the current events. And it's been very hard to find the motivation to keep going with what I do, like my reactions and making my analysis videos and doing my live streams and stuff. I haven't gone live since last week, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a whole thing for the weekend, and then the weekend hit and my energy was just through the floor. Just the weight of everything that's been happening in this world, with the weight of everything that's been shifting behind the scenes in the YouTube space. Like, I'm very sensitive to energy, I've learned. I'm extremely sensitive to energy. Which is why I always try to keep myself balanced, in a sense. Like, I'll let the negative energy out every now and then just because for a detox. But if it gets too much, then it's overwhelming. It's borderline suffocating. And I get really tired. I get lethargic. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just bogged down by, like, just the weight of all this bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? And it doesn't help that, it's that time of the month too, so my hormones are all over the place. So I'm just like, life is really just hitting me with this fucking 360 combo, and I'm like fighting back, but I'm fucking tired, y'all. I can't even hold y'all. I'm fucking tired. Fiance's been in pain every day, and I know you've been there for her, Noah, because you have to. That's just mandatory. We're going through a lot emotionally, physically, like financially. It's rough. You got to take care of yourself. We'll be here when you come back. And that's literally what I did. I had to take the whole weekend and just unplug, and I had all my videos scheduled to go out, so I'm like, good. Fuck this. I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to do shit that I want to do. I'm going to play games, just chill out, watch fucking nerd shit on my TV over there and just lay in bed. And that's what I did. I genuinely, when I tell you I was sleeping for upwards of 15 hours at a time, that's how exhausted I was. Because you go through the week, you're running on fumes. With me, I got to do what I got to do. I have a job outside of YouTube. And it's like, if I want to get to the point where I want to make this my job, I have to commit. And it's hard trying to balance everything with family life, with work life, with YouTube life, with and then putting aside time to edit my videos, to make my thumbnails, to write out my descriptions, schedule my videos to come out. It's because I'm editing multiple videos right now. I am. Because I always edit my own stuff. I pride myself. I can say I pride myself on. I edit my own shit. I draw my own stuff. I put together my own thumbnails. I use PNGs. PNGs has always helped. People have been using pictures off the internet for their thumbnails since the dawn of YouTube, and I'll never stop using them. Like, AI helps every now and then when it comes to coming up with like a concept for something, like if I want like a background or something, like, oh, I don't know, like a neon city or something, or like uh if I want it's mainly for landscapes, because I don't have the time or the patience to really draw it out myself. So I'll go to the internet, pull some stock photos. Everything that I use is stock footage. It's either stock footage or it's my own artwork. And then I make my thumbnails in the editing software too. So like, I wish I wish I had the money to afford shit like Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop, but I don't. So I use what I have. Use the Kendrick Lamar blueprint. Take your time to put out quality. People might be anxious, but they're always satisfied when you put your all into it without rushing. And that is ultimately I guess the dichotomy, because everything I produce, I consider it art. Because I'm an artist. I love making art. I love making things that last a long time, that has a lot of rewatch and replay value. Something that you can look back on and be like, oh, this was great. And no matter how many times you look at it, it makes you want to look at it again. Like, I love making art because art is something that you can always go back to, no matter the time, no matter the year, no matter the circumstance. And you'll get something different every time you look at it. And that takes time. It takes time. It does. And then with the high demand, especially in the YouTube reaction scene, people are like, oh, you got to get this out right when it drops. And it's like, on the one hand, if I'm excited about it, sure, I'll bust out a video real quick and react to it, especially if they uploaded like an hour or two ago. It's like, I got that 48-hour window, sure, but I don't like rushing my stuff, and I don't like mass producing my stuff either. So it's also why I've been trying to put myself on like a strict, I might upload like maybe once or twice a week, if that. And I think that would give me enough time to, one, get my stuff done to where I don't feel like I'm rushing. Because when I'm rushing, it doesn't feel as genuine to me. Because I'm not doing it because I want to and I want to share my thoughts to the world. I'm doing it because I'm on a timeline. I'm on a quota. I have to fill a quota, and I don't like feeling like that. I like being left to my own devices to create my work and then share it with the public. And so that's what I'm gonna do. It's just I've just been exhausted, man. There's just so much that's been happening in the world, and my body has not been helping me out. It's not been giving me the time of day, nothing. Went back to watch your interpretation of the poetic justice theory. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate it, man. I just finished watching M Reed, Mr. Reed. I call him Mr. Reed. I know it's the M Reed Report. Shout out to the M Reed Report, by the way. Subscribe to his channel. I just finished watching his video on the poetic justice theory that just released. I watched the premiere. So I was there. I was able to chat with him, and my sister Nunu, she was there too. Great content. I highly suggest you check it out. But God, it's hot as a bitch. We've got the humidifier or the dehumidifier going. I've got my fan going. I might turn it off. If it gets too hot, then I'll turn it back on. M. Reed is a jewel. Yes, he was. Yes, he is. He is a jewel to this community. He is a landmark, honestly, when it comes to analyzation and when it comes to author's intent, you know, breaking down literary devices, breaking down history, breaking down subtext. He really went through it. It was surgical the way he went through it. And I always appreciate videos like that, especially in the Black community. You know, on the internet, everybody's like, oh, Black people can't ascend to that level of intelligence. They can't be that smart. You know, whenever we say something like, oh, Kendrick is a modern day Edgar Allan Poe, or, you know, he's a modern day Langston Hughes, or he's a modern day Tupac, people are like, oh no, Black people can't be that deep and poetic and literal. It's dumb. Like, you see people like Edgar Allan Poe and Langston, like I said, and honestly, your authors, your great poets of the time, and you're like, oh, you can't be this and you can't be that. But then where's the same awe and wonder and support when it's a Black person? Like, Black people can't fucking think for themselves, or they can't expound upon things. They can't expand their minds. They can't overanalyze things. Like, we're incapable of producing thought beyond the linear. Sorry, Mike. I'm gonna keep hitting you, bro. It is what it is. Until I could get a better mic set up to where I could probably have something off to the side. Because with this desk here, I can't do that. Because I'll probably have to get a new desk sometime down the line, or whenever I decide to move. But for, like I said, I gotta work with what I work with for now. I gotta do what I gotta do. Oh, you did say hi to me in the chat. I remember that. I think I was working on my thumbnail at the time. I definitely forgot. My bad, dude. You made me so happy when you defended him. He's not gonna go there, and that's why he's being tried. But I don't like the hate. I don't like it either. Like, that's the whole reason this subgenre of YouTube exists, is it's to give Black people the opportunity to compare and contrast thoughts and feelings, and compare their interpretations of music and their interpretations on social events, their interpretations of current events that are happening within the culture. And it's inviting us to have a conversation without resorting to petty arguments, or without resorting to violence in any form, whether physical or verbal. And I came up in, you know, a Black school system that genuinely they gave a fuck about my future. They gave a fuck about me as the person. They weren't just like, oh, you know, whatever, you're just another kid. No, they grabbed me by the scruff and they were like, look here, you are not gonna be ignorant, okay? You are not gonna become another fucking statistic, because we see greatness in you. We see something in you that could spark something huge. And so we're gonna pull you away from the retards and we're gonna put you over here. And when I say that, I mean literally the dudes, the class clowns, the one who were always acting a fool, the ones running up and down the hallways, sniffing Sharpies, putting gum under the desks, just being absolute menaces. They said, we're going to pull you away from that crowd, and we're going to sit you down here, and we're going to make you great. God damn it. I heard the fucking theme song, you know, the Mulan shit. I'll make a man out of you. They were like, we're going to make a scholar out of you. Because I'm telling you, back then, the DC school systems did not fuck around. I don't know what they're like today, But back then, they did not care if you were black or white. They were like, you gonna get educated. God damn it. You're gonna learn about racial tensions. You're gonna learn about the March on Washington. You're gonna learn about the Black Panther Party. You're gonna learn about inventors, black inventors. You're gonna learn who invented the gas mask and the stoplight and the railroads and the beauty products. You're gonna learn about people like Madam C.J. Walker and Sojourner Truth and Garrett A. Morgan. And you're gonna learn about modern medicine and how black people were directly influencing modern medicine without getting the credit. They said, you gonna learn all this shit. Yes, I read To Kill a Mockingbird in middle school. Yes, I read books like A Day No Pigs Would Die, Where the Red Fern Grows. I read it in elementary school. And yes, the teachers had the conversations. They were like, you're going to see some words in there that may or may not be bad or, potentially harmful. Those are just words within the story. And they were like, don't go around repeating these words because they're not good, but they have to exist in the story in order for the author to get its point across. I learned about the N-word being in books a long time ago. And the teachers, they were prepared to have that conversation with their students. And they handled it in a very mature manner. They're like, you're gonna see a racial slur in this book, but you have to understand why it's in the book. It's not like shield your eyes, children, stay away from the truth. It's like, no, this is ugly, yes, but it's the truth and it exists and it will never not exist. And you need to understand why it exists. I read about the Holocaust. I read about the Japanese internment camps that Franklin Roosevelt signed off on. Yeah, the crippled motherfucker with polio, him. I learned about the Bull Moose Party, and I learned about America. I learned about our own history, American history, all of it. Like, my white teachers were not afraid to teach about the civil rights movement and the Civil War and the Triangle Trade and Manifest Destiny and the abuse and the murder and the subjugation of the Native American people. They were not afraid to teach all of those things because they knew that we needed to know. I would say I am the last generation of people that were actually shown and taught the truth in schools. After me, that was it. They didn't do any. They banned. I was in school. I was in high school when they banned To Kill a Mockingbird from elementary schools. I was still in high school when they banned Lord of the Flies. We were reading Fahrenheit 51 and War of the Worlds and 1989. I went to magnet schools in Louisiana where we read and had mature. I think it's the magnet schools that do that because I went to a magnet school. It's something about those magnet schools, man. They was finna magnetize you to some fucking brain cells. Literally, my school had a whole reading program where actual U.S. congressmen and U.S. senators from Capitol Hill would come down to the school and they would pair them up with kids. Like they would choose kids for that program and they would pair them up with that congressman or that senator. And I am so fortunate to be able to say out of my mouth that not only they paired me with probably the best person they could have paired me with. I got paired with a Kennedy, y'all. They put me with Edward Kennedy. Rest in power, by the way, King. You were a legend. If I could have seen anybody in the White House at that time, it would have been him. I called him Teddy because he was like the closest thing I ever had to a grandfather growing up. And like we would read together, we would play games, we would rock paper scissors to see who would read first. We would talk about the book. We would talk about, author's intent, stuff like that. He would ask me, this part, like, what are you thinking about when you read this specific portion? And we would like compare thoughts. And sometimes they would film it because he was a major senator and a Kennedy. So there were always cameras there. I had to get used to that because me, little chubby, light skinned kid with a gap the size of the state of Texas, with, my hair was always done. I had the little beady beads, not the beady beads, what are they called? The bowerettes, the little bobos. I had those because my dad did my hair, and that shit was always done. Let me see if I can find a picture of it actually, because let me see. I have the picture. Let me see. Because they used to have it on. They used to have it on their website, on the Everybody Wins website. I think I may have saved it to my Google Drive. Whoops. That's not it. The barrettes, yup. Sure did. Let me see. I think this is it. Ah, aha. Ha 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 ha. I found it. And this was at the. I don't think it's there anymore, but Everybody Wins. They might have updated it from then, but I guess they still have it going on. It's still going to this day. And it's all like people from Capitol Hill, congressmen, representatives in the House. Yeah, we're gonna zoom in on this. There we are. Behold, this old ass fucking picture of me. I've always been like that, by the way. I've always been a chubby kid. But yeah, that's me and Senator Edward Kennedy. And this was back in 2004, 2005, something like that, because I didn't move here until 2007, so this had to have been like 2004. Yeah. And my hair was always done. I had the little. And look, the twists were always on point. I was tender headed as a motherfucker, but my dad did the shit out of my hair. He always made sure that my shit was done. Full of energy and thoughts. And I think I've always talked with my hands, I noticed. Looking at it now, I'm like, I know I was in the middle of a thought. I was I was hitting the flow state. But yeah, he sent me a card a long time ago, and I still have it to this day. I can't remember if it was for my birthday or something, but it was always like a plan. We were gonna go sailing with his family, with his wife, his kids, his grandkids, his dogs. 'Cause I got to meet both of his dogs. They're adorable, Sonny and Splash. Those are the babies right there. They are Portuguese water dogs is the official breed. And they were just in the office. They didn't even care. The dogs were in the office. They were just there. Like the office was big, and the dogs, well, at the time they were big to me because I was still a little squirt. Um, but yeah, I got to meet both of them. Overcame my fear of dogs because they were just so cute, so friendly, and they were very gentle dogs too, very gentle. And I'm pretty sure my mom said he was the one who gifted former President Obama his dog. Um, what was his dog's name? Bo? Yeah, Bo. That was a gift from Senator Kennedy. Not, I think it was maybe a year before he passed, something like that. Like a little lawyer. Yeah, and we had to wear uniforms too. I remember that. My colors were it was white and dark green, and we had to wear the little tie. I had the skirt. We had to wear the little dress shoes with the socks. Oh man, y'all couldn't tell me a thing. I was looking cute. And then I think my brother's that his colors were white and blue. So it was like a dark navy blue. And they had specific stores just for school uniforms, and my mom always got discounts because she coupons coupon queen, and her connections at the Library of Congress. People would buy her uniforms for us. She would give them our measurements, and they would go out and buy our clothes and stuff. So it really helps having a big family like that, because it does take a village. It does. But I miss him every single day because, like I said, he was like the closest thing to a grandfather that I had. And it was, that man went out of his way to do things that no senator or no Congress person would ever do at the top. Like, when I got sick, he visited me at the hospital, or he tried to visit me at the hospital, but of course the sickness that I had was contagious. So my mom was like, "I don't want you getting sick. It's fine. You're good." He would send limos to the school to whenever I went to go visit him at the Capitol. Because I'm pretty sure he worked in the Capitol. I could be, I can't remember. I remember being in the physical office with the dogs, and with him, and with his agents, his secretaries. There were other congressmen who were there. There were cameras there, of course, but it was a great time, and I wish I could go back. I do wish I could. I don't know. I didn't know you had connections like that. Yeah, I never really talked about it just because it was just kind of special to me. I could just go around and be like, I have probably one of the greatest men that ever walked in the, I would say he's the last line of decent, like not morally bankrupt politicians. He's like the last line of that, him, because I'm trying to think. He died shortly after President Obama became president. And I think the only reason he didn't run was because he was very old. He was in like his late 70s, 80s, something like that. Um, which is crazy because they totally let Biden run at his old ass age, and they let Trump run at his old ass age. I genuinely just was like, I feel like he just didn't want it. He was like, that would stress me the fuck out because he already had a brother, two brothers were president, and I can't remember if Robert Kennedy was like a congressman or if he was vice president or what. I can't remember what he was. No, because Johnson was vice president after during Kennedy's time, so he was just a senator or a congressman at the time. So yeah, he's like, I already had two brothers in the spotlight in terms of politics. I'm not gonna put myself in that position. Give myself a heart attack? Hell no. I'd rather die peacefully, surrounded by my family, my friends, and my dogs. But yeah, we lost contact whenever we moved, and I always regret that. Um, I just wish that I was old enough to where I could have been able to find him through contact again and get back in touch with him before he died. I was just so young at the time and shit. There was so much that was happening, but I always appreciated being able to spend time with him and read with him and play games and just enjoy the conversation. That's what it was all about, was the conversation. And I'll say, like, I even had there was a big old children's Bible, and it was all hand painted, gorgeous artwork. I've never seen anything quite like it in my life. And just the watercolors was so vivid, and we read it until the school was finally like, "Oh, you can't read the Bible because it'll offend other religions," and that was their little measly excuse. He was pissed. He was like, "What? I'm sorry, what?" He was like, "I literally had to swear into office on the Bible, and you're saying we can't read it in schools because it would offend other people?" The only time I had ever seen him get that mad, and he was justified. I was mad. I was confused because I was like, why? Why can't we read the Bible? Why? There's nothing about it. And people were like genuinely excited. It was in the page, like I said, the artwork, gorgeous. And we read it. I would bring whatever book I wanted to read to school, and we would literally read it. Didn't matter if it was a poem or if it was like a kid's book or if it was like a super complex book. We read it, and we had no problem reading it. And I learned very important life lessons reading those books and reading through that children's Bible with Senator Kennedy, because he had a lot of wisdom to offer. I would listen to stories about how he went sailing, stories about how he spent time with his brothers, crazy stories that they got into. Just, I learned a lot. And I'm genuinely, it's like looking back at an old photo album. I'm upset that I can't have those moments anymore, but it helped shape me into who I am today and my values in life. It was for you. If you didn't publicize it, it was real sincere. Yeah, we don't get to see that kind of humanity in politicians much. You don't. You really don't. Not anymore. Because there was a time back then where politicians were just people like the rest of us. They wanted to see our country being propelled in a good direction, but they were constantly being overshadowed by the corrupt ones and the ones that were, doing dirty work behind the scenes. And it's not like Edward or it's not like he didn't know his family's history. He knew that his brothers got into some shady shit. Hell, he knew that they were, because everybody's got a couple skeletons in their closet. He knew, but he didn't let it define him as a person, and he didn't let it affect the people around him. And he didn't let it affect his work either. And he always donated to charities and organizations just like this. I think he was one of their biggest donators. Um and he would take time out of his own schedule to come down and read with the kids. And it's just, I wasn't like the first kid that he had read with, but I noticed that of all of the kids that read with them, all of them were black. All of them. And I'm like, I see what you're doing there. I like this. This is good. Keep doing this. And it's hard to put into words how it was almost like magic, because I didn't have a good relationship with my extended family, like my grandparents. Half of my grandparents died before, a little shortly after I was born. They remember holding me as an infant, but I don't remember much about them. And then the grandparents that were still alive, I couldn't be around them because they were just horrible pieces of shit. And so, having a grandfather figure like this, that at school, no less, when I'm learning and soaking in knowledge and information, it really was just, it was probably one of the best times of my childhood. Something that I fondly remember. And I'll never forget it either. But yeah, rest in peace, rest in power, King. Senator Edward Kennedy, or as I soon began to call him, Teddy, because that was just his nickname that only close people called him. And so he was like, you call me Teddy. And so I did. It was great. We had a great time. And he always sang my praises to my mom. She was always there, whenever she went to like the public events, and when, a limousine pulled up to the school to escort me to the Capitol, she was like, I'm sorry, what? She was like, and then he called her personally and was like, yeah, sorry about the confusion. I was trying to get in contact with you. It was hard. I couldn't get past the answering machine at the Library of Congress. He was like, as long as you're okay with this, you can be there too. I'm not going to just whisk your kid off somewhere without letting you know. And he was very cordial about it. He was very professional. And so she was like, I mean, yeah, I didn't even realize. And it was a whole thing because she's worked for the Library of Congress for over 40 years. So she just retired last year. So it wasn't hard for her to be like, yeah, I need to go to the Capitol building real quick because, my kid is reading with one of the Kennedys. But it was a fun time. It really was just an amazing time. And I'll never forget it. I'll always hold that deep in my heart. And with, especially with the Epstein files today, it's really hard to like talk about relationships like this without some weirdo being like, oh, he was probably doing something weird. It's like he was one of them. He was in the Epstein files too. And I'm like, no, I refuse to believe that, because he never once gave off the impression that his intentions were anything but pure. He genuinely just wanted to read with the kids and donate to the organization. He was like, I've been doing this for years. I would come down and read with kids of all ages, by the way. I think that was like my second year reading with him, because when we started, it was like I became one of his favorites. He was like, this is like sitting here with one of my grandkids and like listening to them read and talk and share their ideas. And he's like, I want to be paired with her again. And so they were like, what the fuck are we gonna say? He's a goddamn Kennedy. We can't say no. Why the fuck would we do that? It was just back then where it was like, I could be like, yeah, this is my best friend. He was like the closest thing I had to a grandfather. And I would honestly be like, yeah, that was my grandfather. Skin tone don't make no difference. That was my granddaddy. And everybody they could see it too. That's why whenever they had the cameras and everything, and he would like be like, oh, there's gonna be cameras here, just act natural. It's like how we do whenever we're reading with the Everybody Wins. And so, because I was nervous, I'm very camera shy. And so, once he talked me through it, I was like, all right, cool, well, we can do this. And then when the cameras were rolling, it was like nothing ever changed. We went through our little routine, our like our odds and evens was what he liked to play. It wasn't quite rock paper scissors, but what we would do is we would throw out a number between 1 and, I think it was 1 and 10, and we would call it first. We would be like, evens has to read first, or odds has to read first. And we would both pick a number between like 1 and 3. And if we got the evens, then we would read first. Or if we got odds, then he would read first. And then if it was a tie, we would just do it all over again. And that was his version of rock, paper, scissors, was odds and evens. It's so hard to believe in public figures, though. So many have let us down. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and take things as they come. We want that kind of grace, so we have to give it. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. And it's like, I grew up in a world where people actively wanted to see my success, and they tried very hard to make sure that I succeeded. And nobody gave up on me, at least back then, before I moved, and it was just a whole different ballpark. There was still the occasional teacher that saw something. I was always described as bright, was and I never understood what the hell it meant. But my teachers would always tell my mom, they'd be like, she's a very bright child. We see a lot of potential in her. But, it was very few and far between. It wasn't as plentiful as when I was a little kid, where all of my teachers were like, we see potential in you. We're going to work overtime to make sure that you see it as well. And, when I moved, it was like suddenly the safety net, or I guess not even the safety net, but the support was just not there anymore. It wasn't there in the household. It wasn't there at school. And then the one support that I did have, it was hard to get in contact. It was hard to really, because my parents were going through a divorce at the time. So it was really hard for me, because my dad, who was like my source of support and my source of positivity, was constantly being kept away at like just within reach, but I couldn't go over there to his house half the time, even though he had weekend privileges and weekend visits. So it was just a very different time during that pivotal stage in my life where I started going through biological changes, where I started going through emotional changes, when I hit puberty very early. So imagine being a fucking kid, like a kid. I hit puberty when I was 10, and then having to go through all of that shit. But you're in a much different area. There's people you don't know. The teachers don't know you. The kids don't know you. You've got new people that you're interacting with that you have to tolerate, even though they don't necessarily tolerate you in return. It was just a very different time, and it was hard. It was discouraging. It was. It was like you spend so many years being built up to be something great, and then you just get hit with hurricane after hurricane after hurricane, and it doesn't stop. It never stopped until high school. But by then, the damage was already done. So it was literally like I had to pick up the pieces of what I lost during that transformative, pivotal period, and then try to rebuild it from scratch, whatever was left. And then because I didn't have much people who were in my corner, I had to learn how to be my own support. Because by then, Senator Kennedy, he had already passed. I was already about to graduate high school, and I'm like, I still don't know what I want to do with my life. Because every opportunity that I wanted to pursue, it was actively shut off. Because honestly, I'm just going to be real about it. My parents didn't agree with it. Well, my dad did, but my mom didn't. She didn't agree with the career path that I wanted. I wanted to be a professional artist. Hell, I wanted to be a composer for, video games and movies and shit. And I had the software. I was really good at it. I was so good at it that my teachers genuinely thought I plagiarized when I presented my first ever music composition. He genuinely had to ask my mom. He's like, did she plagiarize this? And because that was just the stigma back then. Like, if I was at my other school, they would have been like, holy shit, your daughter's a genius. Like, we need to work on this. We need to hone this skill. But in that other environment where, darkness was kind of everywhere, it wasn't, oh, wow, this is an amazing gift you have. It was immediate suspicion. It was like, you had to have gotten this from somewhere, or you had to have plagiarized this. There was no acknowledgement of my skill. It was, you had to have copied off of somebody else. And unfortunately, my brother was the victim of that too. There were many times where we would stay up until the wee hours of the morning helping him with a project, only for his teacher to try and fucking accuse him of plagiarism. And it's like that's when my I became disillusioned by the ways by the world around me. You know, growing up in such a cultivating environment and then suddenly being thrown into this cold hard reality where nobody fucking cares about you and nobody tries to help you, and when you do outshine everybody else, people look at you with contempt instead of nurturing that ability. They're like, oh, who the fuck do you think you are? Show off. You had to get that from somebody else. Did you plagiarize this? And like, that's just, it's a very crushing reality to have to face as a kid. You know, sitting in class in pain because my insides are like exploding because nobody was around to teach me that, you know, period cramps fucking hurt. Hey, Nunu. Hey, sis. Good to see you. What's up? I just stopping through. Enjoy your stream. Subscribe to Nunu Nation, y'all. That's my sister. I love her to death. Please subscribe to her channel. She just hit 3,000 subs not that long ago. I just hit my 2,000 shortly after. But her content is 1,000% worth checking out. So please subscribe to her channel. But see, love when my students' parents tell me how their kids feel about me. It's hard to give that time to each student, but we try. And yes, and it's like I still 1,000% I appreciate and I love teachers who genuinely care about their students and want to see them grow. And they don't let people's public opinion of them try to shape the way that they feel about their work, about their craft. You know, they don't become jaded and angry and irritable, and they don't take it out on the kids because they want to see them. It's like having a garden. It's like growing a bunch of little rose bushes, and you can't let your feelings you know, in your private life or anything else, you can't let that judge how you nurture your garden. You can't just go stomping and kicking on the flowers whenever you get pissed off. That's not right. That's not how it works. Because then the flowers die because they're very fragile and they need constant care. They need to be watered. They need that sunlight. They need that nurturing in order to grow to their full potential. And kids are the same way. They are constantly soaking in knowledge around them, whether you see it or not. And so I always appreciate teachers who will go above and beyond to make sure that their children succeed, who genuinely care about every single person in that classroom. Because I used to have that, and then it was literally stolen from me. It was not a good time. And I didn't get access to that again until high school. But by then, the damage was already done. It was too late. You know, I had been bogged down and beaten down and disillusioned so badly that I lost faith in myself. Literally, I was just barely getting by because I didn't even feel like putting in the work anymore. Because I was like, what's the point? My teachers would call my mom and they would be genuinely concerned about my mental health. They would be like, all she does is sleep. She's very smart. She does her work and she does her homework, but she doesn't even look like she wants to be here anymore. And I didn't. There were many times where I didn't want to be here. And I genuinely questioned what I was doing with my life. But I kept going because I'm like, you know, I can't let down the people who influenced me when I was younger, the people who helped propel me to where I am now. Can't let them down. But at the end of the day, I was succeeding for everybody except myself. And it was a very hard concept to really face until recently. Like in the past couple years, I realized that I had been kind of just skating by because just I lost touch with myself. I lost touch with my purpose, and I had to refigure it out. And then when shit in life happened, my equilibrium was all off, and I had to rebalance that bitch. I learned after grade school, had great teachers, went to good schools, but the real world has been a motherfucker. Yes, it has. It most certainly has been a motherfucker, bro. And I've never been more disillusioned about this country and its state of affairs until recently. Things have been getting worse. They have only been getting worse, and nothing's being done about it. Nothing is being done. Keep going. You're still that girl, but you've learned about the harsh realities. It's a balance you have to find without losing you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Ashley. I really appreciate it. Because, I don't know, it was just a different time back then where teachers actually cared about their kids. I still, to this day, have gifts that my teachers gave me just because, you know, they saw the potential that I had and they saw something great within me. And they were like, I want to inspire her to keep going. My kindergarten teachers, my first grade teachers, my second and third grade teachers, my music teachers, principals from my old school, like, they genuinely cared about the kids' success. They put time and effort into everybody. It really was no child left behind. And it wasn't in the sense that they were just allowing anybody to pass with them regardless of whether they put in the work. No, they made everybody put in that fucking work. And if they didn't put in the work, they would be moved to a different class where they would still be they would still work on them. They would be like, you got to do this. And they would show them the harsh reality of life. They'd be like, Black people, our margin of error is already small enough. We can't go out into the world being ignorant. We can't. Because if we do, our destination will be one of two places, jail or prison. That's the margin of error for Black people. And especially as a Black woman. That's why I always say, like, I'm at a double disadvantage. And I know people don't like hearing me say that, but that's the reality. In America, in today's America, me as a Black woman, I am at a double disadvantage. Because not only am I a Black person, which puts me at one disadvantage, I am also a woman, which puts me at another disadvantage. Because people don't respect women. They don't respect Black women, especially. We are the butt of every joke. We are the butt of every stereotype. We are always criticized for being ourselves. And it's gotten to the point where I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of people constantly looking down their nose at me because I'm one, Black, and two, a woman. And then I'm also tired of the people that leech off of my energy because they realize that I'm more than what they perceived me as, and they try to feed off of that energy and then provide nothing in return. I'm putting out knowledge into the world because I want to share my experiences with people. I want to share my knowledge with the people because I spent so long accumulating all of this pent up, I would call it useless knowledge, that I have a use for it now. I do, and it's like I have all of the things in order to do it. I have everything I need right here. All I have to do is put in the work. And this will be coming out very soon. I did write a little short story that basically summarizes how I've been feeling, and it was basically me working through my emotions and rediscovering my purpose in life, and especially here on YouTube. Those teachers are exiting stage left because the education system is so messed up. We're trying to hold the line. The kids are so important. Black, yes. Yes. And it was back, like, this was back during a time where being a black woman was not a disadvantage. In fact, it was an advantage because you were already rare. It was like a diamond in the rough. And so, because we had figures to look up to, like Condoleezza Rice, important black people. Whenever what's his name? Whenever Clarence Thomas was whenever he was inducted into the Supreme Court, shit like that. When we had what is her name? The woman, the old woman who was in the Supreme Court that passed. Was it Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I think is her name. Yeah, her. When she was in there. When Michelle Obama became the first lady. Oh my god, and like the charities and the everybody, what was it? The Worldwide Day of Play. She was actively encouraging kids to be active, to eat right, to ingest intelligence around them, to make sure that they were reading books, to be active and energized, to get plenty of sunlight. She was going to schools and reading with kids, and she was advocating for like PE in schools because they were going to take PE out of schools. The physical education, they were going to take it out because they didn't deem it as important. They were going to take music programs out of schools because they didn't think it was important. But they weren't going to take it out of the white schools. No, they were trying to take it out of the black schools. And people like her and Kendrick Lamar and Nipsey Hussle, they fought so hard to keep the music and the arts programs in schools because it inspired creativity within the black youth. It allowed them to be like, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And that was customary in my school. And then it was like being transported to a place against your will, by the way. It wasn't like I wanted to move, because everything I knew and loved was in DC. But then just being thrown into this world where nobody fucking cares about you. Nobody. If you're struggling, whatever. We don't fucking care. We got a bunch of other kids to deal with. You're like, oh, you're failing in schools? I don't know, get better. I literally had a physics teacher in high school who was like such a stuck-up piece of shit that he would never actively walk us through the equations that he put on the board. He would never actively teach us what these meant and why they were so important. He would just write the equation on the board and be like, there's the equation, figure it out. Like, it just, and only to figure out later on after I graduated that he was a pedophile. He was a fucking weirdo. He got caught sleeping with one of his students in the janitor's closet and was stripped of everything while his wife was pregnant with their second child. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Where did I don't know. Wickedness has been overtaking this world and this country specifically. And it's been getting harder and harder to fight back because it's just been overwhelming. The negativity has just been overwhelming. And I can't isolate because then I'm not getting the proper nutrients and then I just get depressed. I fall into a depression and then nothing gets better, nothing changes. This entire conversation is the essence of Vince Staples' Crybaby. Oh my god. Album of the year is correct. I'm still putting out my videos on that. So those are coming. They're all pre-recorded. I have to just edit them real quick and put them out. But that album, extremely profound. Oh my god, there was just so much to talk about in every song. And I'm still going back and listening to it because it's punk. It is very punk. It is the essence of what punk was all about. Going against the system that's designed to keep you under their foot because they don't want you to grow. They don't. Because a great mind that grows will eventually be able to see the forest for the trees. They will be able to see the evil, and they will ultimately be able to influence other people to rebel against it. Trying to look at we are the key to helping or hurting our old community. That's why it's like this. Our men, women, and children are always being preyed. Yes, they are being preyed upon. I think I heard about, let me see, just stop through. Nephew got into the college school. I'm up here now filling out paperwork. I'm excited. I remember you told me that he got in. I'm so happy for him. Congratulations. And I just want, let this be a message to my nephew. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be whatever you want to be. Don't let anybody tell you what your future is. Stick by the people that actively want to see you grow and actively see you prosper. Because there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to see you prosper. And you have to learn to tell the difference between the people that want your success and the people that want to destroy your success. Especially these fucking foxes. They smile in your face. Whole time they want to take your place. Songs have been telling us for years. Black music has been the key to telling us and our youth about how to deal with life. And just whatever he wants to do in life. If it's enriching to the community, if he wants to provide something beneficial, whether it's entertainment or knowledge, hell, if he wants to be a Twitch streamer or a YouTube streamer, by all means, go for it. Because all of the streamers that are out here today, they had an idea and a camera and access to the internet. And from there, their channels took off. Because we are in a world right now where mass market AI bullshit is being praised over actual human authenticity and actual human integrity. We are valuing mindless entertainment over actual thought-provoking conversations to enrich our community. And then we get mad when people don't take us seriously. Of course they're not taking us fucking seriously. We're not taking us seriously. How the fuck do you expect the rest of the world to take us seriously when our own communities don't take each other seriously? Anybody that, thinks outside the box they're called hoteps. People that are tapped in with the wavelengths of the universe, people that are tapped in to the wavelengths of the past, the vibrations of the very world around them. They're called hoe-ass niggas. People that are respectful towards women, people that don't try to use and exploit women for their bodies. They're called hoe-ass niggas. As opposed to what? A man whore? We are in a goddamn place now where it is more societally acceptable to be a whore. Whether male or female. Whore is gender neutral, y'all. They try to put it on women. No. There's men out here that'll call women everything but a child of God, taking more dick than porn stars. Nasty ass motherfuckers. Freaks. And you got the nerve to call the women whores and the women sluts. When y'all some of the nastiest, most vapid, disgusting people I've ever seen. But then you want to get mad when the other races look down their noses on black people. Like, we're looking down our own noses at our own people. We just got out of the colorism war. The Team Red Bone versus Team Yellow Bone. We just got finished with that shit. That was back in the 2000s. 10 years ago. Now we are in an intellectual war. We are in a war between those who want to expand their knowledge and bring a light back to the black community, and those that want to coon and ride for the white daddies and fucking join the circus and look down their noses at the ones who are actively trying to assemble a measly thought of intelligence, an iota of fucking literary comprehension. The ones that analyze artists who, like Kendrick and like Clips and Tyler the Creator and Childish Gambino and Chris, all of these artists that are putting out work for us to tell us what is happening, are Vince Staples. Vince Staples' album is so goddamn important right now. But nobody wants to have the conversation. Nobody wants to talk about it. No, they would rather just be mindlessly entertained. Just plug me back into the system. I don't want to be respected. I want to stay a coon forever. I want black people to look at me and my children and see us as nothing but gorillas. That's what you're saying right now. I would rather stay in a world where everybody hates me than to realize my own greatness and actively fight against it. I would rather stay in submission, in subjugation, and just dance for the white folk. Dance around on the pole for money. Throw that ass in a circle. Bust down, Tatiana. I would rather throw ass for money than to speak up and try to provide something of substance to my community. That's what y'all are saying. And it's people all over the place, whether it be musicians, whether it be YouTubers, whether it be people on Twitch, people on Kick. Those are the worst ones. The people on the internet showing ass and titties and fucking dancing for massa. Because people they want to be entertained. They don't want to be informed about shit. Like they said, plug me back into the Matrix. I don't even fucking care anymore. Because that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say so badly. I want so badly to look at my people, the black people, and be like, I give up. Fuck these people. Put me back in the Matrix. But I won't. I refuse to say that. I refuse to let these people at the top get the satisfaction of seeing me give up. Because I am reminded constantly of why we choose to fight, of why we stand up to our oppressors, of why I will always speak out about the injustices directed towards my people. Literally had an incident at work the other night where one of my coworkers on a different shift got a drink thrown in her face by a customer because there was some issue with her order or whatever and she was dissatisfied. It's this little 4'0" black girl whose voice can barely go above a pained whisper had a whole drink thrown in her face by a customer. And I know that customer was white. I know it was. And if it wasn't, shame on us. Shame on you, black people. Shame on all of y'all, especially the ones from Baltimore. Shame on you motherfuckers. Y'all the main ones continuing to perpetuate this fucking stereotype that all black people are brainless criminals. All of Baltimore. I'm looking at y'all. Shame on you. All the people that moved here from Baltimore, but they keep that hood mentality. And then they wonder why nobody fucking respects them. Shame on you. Fucking be better. God damn it. And if you won't be better, then move the fuck out of the way. Y'all are the ones holding us back. The ones that are always loud and ignorant and arrogant and brash, starting fights at workplaces, getting their significant others beat up and fucking carjacking and kidnapping people and shit and murder. Y'all are the main ones. Because when white people look at y'all, they don't see you as the individual. They look at y'all and they generalize. They think all black people are just like y'all. I don't want to be fucking associated with that. With crime and fucking over-sexuality and stealing and acting ignorant and arrogant and stupid as fuck. I don't want to be associated with y'all. And I hate when people look at us as a, and when I say I live in Maryland because I'm black, the first place they assume I'm from is goddamn Baltimore. I'm not. And I'm tired of being associated with you mongrels. Because that's what you are. Mongrels. They are mongrels in the white communities too. Mongrels exist across every culture. Y'all are the ones holding back our progress. Because y'all have gotten so complacent and so used to being hand-fed everything. Y'all have gotten so used to skating by off the bare minimum that y'all don't even realize you're the problem. All you people that bump Sexy Red in your cars. All you people that bump Lil Baby in your cars. All you people that bump Lotto, that support her getting pregnant by a whole ass rapper who's in a relationship, by the way. Y'all are the problem. All you people that support young fucking Jeffrey Williams and all of his bullshit. The people that support Drake. Aubrey Graham, y'all are the problem. But then y'all want to go and blame everybody else. Oh, it's the bloggers. Oh, it's the people. It's the intellectuals. It's the hotep niggas. It's the fucking hell. It's the hoe ass niggas. The lame ass niggas. It's the nerds. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like, just genuinely. The nerve, the audacity to look at everybody else and say that they're the problem when you're the ones sitting on your asses with no jobs, fucking mooching off of the government, mooching off of our taxpayer dollars, making us look like a bunch of lazy Negroes, and then having the gall to get mad when white people publicly express their distaste for us. Because they're looking at people like y'all, and they're assuming that everybody within the black culture is just like you. The nerve. The lack of self-awareness and the lack of audacity, like the overwhelming audacity is staggering. Black people, be better. People with that hood mentality, you have to abandon the hood mentality. You gotta get away from it. Because right now, that's all the white people and all that people outside of the country are looking at. They're not looking at the educated black people. They're not looking at the Ivy League graduate black students, because that's not what the news focuses on. They only focus on the ratchet ones. The dumb ones, the ignorant ones, the hood rats. That's all the news focuses on. because they are trying to keep projecting this fucking image that black people are nothing but knuckle dragging apes. And y'all are giving them the content. Y'all are giving them the ammunition. Y'all are literally shooting yourselves in the foot. You're cheddar bobbing yourself, black people. I'm gonna need y'all to really just look at yourselves as a community and fight back. And I'm not saying physically, even though sometimes if people take it there, you gotta take it there. If people fuck around, unfortunately, by the law of the universe, they have to find out. That's just mandatory. I'm saying fight back on an intellectual level. Learn things, read up on things, even if you get your intelligence from people on YouTube, videos. We are so tapped in to this infinite well of knowledge. You can learn anything on the internet. I learned how to edit. I learned how to build computers just from the internet. Everything I need to know, I look online. And it's just the fact we need to take advantage of that. We need to educate ourselves and educate our children. And we need to be there for our children, be in our children's lives. Let them know that they have options. They have more options than athlete, rapper, or prison fucking inmate. You can be whatever you want. Because we had black people in medicine, surgeons, we had astronauts, we had astrophysicists, we had people creating aircrafts, creating trains, creating nuclear weapons. What happened to all of our black billionaires? What happened to our George Washington Carvers? What happened to our Madam C.J. Walkers? Where she became so successful that she was living right next door to J.D. Rockefeller, one of the biggest white pioneers, one of the biggest white billionaires of that time. Rockefeller is a name that has persisted throughout history. And he was close friends with Madam C.J. Walker. What happened to us? What happened to us as a people? The news isn't going to be enough. Here's what I'm going to tell y'all. We need to start making waves. And when I say make waves, we have to make tsunamis, just like our ancestors did. It wasn't enough that they were in the public paper or they were, in the local publishing. No, they took their activism to an extreme, to such a degree that people had to pay attention. They had to stop and look, and they had to be curious about it. And when they learned about it, they were like, I support this. I'm going to support you. You have to make tsunamis in order for people to understand the power that we wield. And it's not hard. It's not. Kendrick did it. Clips did it. Vince Staples did it. Tyler, the Creator, did it. Chris Patrick did it. Imani, she did it. When you make waves so strong that the walls of white oppression cannot hold it, that's when you know you've made an impact. You need to make tsunamis in this fucking world that we're in today. Because right now, I'm not seeing enough movement. To quote Ninja, I'm not seeing enough movement. Y'all aren't ready. Because if you want to make tsunamis, that requires dedication, discipline, hard work, and sacrifice. Yes. Like this boycott that's been happening, the Asian boycott, there are people that are extremely committed. They have been making tsunamis. And now the Asians they're sweating a little bit. They're starting to tug at their collars. Because we are showing the rest of the world the power that dwells within us. Only a fraction of the divine energy that exists in us is enough to shake the whole foundation of what this society is built on. A fraction. Now imagine if we really tapped into that power and we did what our ancestors did and we used all of it. At a time where our children were being stolen from us, our churches were being bombed, our boys and our girls being hosed down with enough pressure to crush human ribs, our brothers and our sisters, our mothers and fathers being mauled by dogs, police dogs, being shot by the very people that were swearing to protect them. And in this modern day, people don't fault the person with the gun. They blame the victim. They blame the victim's families. They don't care that you were killed. They will still jump through so many mental gymnastics hoops to try and paint you as the villain. No matter how obvious the corruption may be. People they want to be right so badly that they will force their perspective onto the rest of the world. And if you so much as speak out against it, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. They call you every slur known to man. They can have all the lack of self-control that they can. But the moment we get sick and tired of being sick and tired, suddenly there's opposition. Now, why is that? Why would us standing up for justice be met with opposition, anger, fear, unless they know what we're capable of? And they would rather kill our children before they allow that to happen. I said it in the Vince Staples video, man. I'd kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. That's how these people at the top think. That's how these news organizations think. They would rather sacrifice our children, not theirs, ours, in order to keep us from retapping into our true potential. Because that's how powerful we are. That's why I'm saying we have to fight back, but we gotta fight back so hard that they genuinely cannot do anything about it. We have to make tsunamis in this motherfucking water. Fuck a wave. Waves aren't enough. Like Kendrick said, it's not enough. Like Vince Staples said, they like you, they smile in your face, but it's not enough. These are messages to us. We have to make tsunamis. Because anything else, it's not enough. We can't get by on just making waves in the water anymore. We gotta do what we've always done, and we gotta overdo it. We gotta stay on their necks, but tighten the grip. And don't let go for anybody. Don't let go for anything. No matter how much they beat you, no matter how much they insult you, no matter how much they condemn you and your people, never stop fighting. Stay on their necks. Keep speaking out about it. You need to start tapping into your potential. Black people, I'm talking to everybody now, even the hood rats. It is time for us to change. Because President Obama tried and it didn't work. Because we weren't changing along with him. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's time for y'all motherfuckers to start drinking. Like Vince Staples said, the system is fucking you. Fuck back. Fuck them back. It is time to start playing the system at its own game. Make tsunamis that are so goddamn high that nobody will be able to resist. Nobody will be able to contain the true power that is the black voice, that is the black soul, that they've tried so hard to extinguish. We gotta be like those fucking the wildfires. They try so hard to extinguish those wildfires every fucking year. And it's not enough. We gotta have that wildfire tsunami mentality. We have to, shit. I'm not saying resort to violence mindlessly, but if somebody tests the water, you need to let them know that that water is boiling hot. Like a pot of hot grits. They hot. If people want to test you, you need to remind them of why that's not a good idea. Survival of the fittest needs to come back because there are a lot of motherfuckers that should not be surviving, but they are because we are not showing them the consequences of their actions. Because we've gotten so used to just keeping our heads down, shutting the fuck up, stepping out of the way. Don't get too brash, don't get too disrespectful, don't get too loud, don't get too this, don't get too that. You'll upset massa. Just step out the way and don't say nothing. Just laugh along with the jokes. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm tired of keeping my head down. I'm tired of being bullied into silence. I'm tired of getting kicked in the face and being told to shut the fuck up about it. No. It is time to make tsunamis. Fuck this. Black people, you want respect? Fucking take it. Because right now, these people don't respect you. They don't. They will continue to test the waters over and over and over again. We just had a situation where this stupid fucking white guy called the police on a black man for going into the women's bathroom with his young child, with his young daughter. In a world that's allowing grown men to go into the women's bathroom if they identify as a woman. We're calling the police on fathers protecting their young children from predators. In a world where they designed to give the predators easier access to your children. Like I said, it is time to make tsunamis. If people want to call the police on you for being a good parent, you drop that knowledge to the police. You tell them, would you rather my child go into this bathroom where grown men can walk into the bathroom and potentially do something harmful. I just had a situation at work where I was going to the bathroom and a grown fucking man walked out. And of course he was white. Grown fucking man in the women's bathroom. Why the fuck would I ever let my young child go into the bathroom by herself, knowing that there are grown fucking men that will go in there, regardless of what the sign says? And it's white men. It's always these fucking white men that are always looking in the bathrooms, waiting for their opportunity to strike. And then they want to demonize the father for protecting his child. Burn in hell, you fucking weirdo. And all the people that support that asshole, burn in hell, all of you. If putting your child's safety first is a bad move, then I don't want to be a part of this fucking country anymore. If protecting your children means you're going to hell, I don't want to go to your heaven. If being a good person means that I'm hellbound, then I don't want to go to heaven. Because your idea of heaven is fucked. Allowing grown-ass men to hurt your children. The way I would have cussed this man to hell and back if I was that employee, I would have punched him dead in his shit. I would have taken his phone and smashed it on the ground. Because the fucking nerve of you to try and police other people's parenting, knowing that people like you are the ones that are targeting our children. The lack of awareness is disturbing, which is why I say we need to make tsunamis. Because they are trying everything in their power to break us. They are trying everything within their power to push us back into submission. Fight back. Because in order to get that respect, you have to take it by force. If people want to try you, you remind them of why that's not a good idea. Violence is not always the answer. I'll say that. Don't immediately resort to violence unless they take it there. The moment they resort to violence, you defend yourself. If they want to start the fight, you fucking finish it. Finish it. That's why I don't feel bad for the Metcalf family. I don't. You fucked around and you found out. It's as simple as that. And all that racist shit that you said in that TikTok, you won't say it out loud in a black neighborhood. Chutter Bob already figured it out. He already found out the hard way. Honestly, he should have been shot a long time ago. He should have. He should have gotten his ass beat a long time ago. But that's the problem. He kept pushing the line because there was no resistance. Because we're so scared of this system that has been designed to oppress us that we won't even fight against literal racism, literal hate speech. We refuse to fight against it because we're scared of going to jail. Fuck that. If there's a man that is belittling you because of the color of your skin, and he goes as far as to threaten with physical violence, you deck him in his shit. These white people are so comfortable with disrespecting you because you haven't done anything about it. You haven't. It's time for these people to start finding out. They have been fucking around for far too long. And if they don't start finding out today, they're going to keep fucking around and they're going to keep pushing the line. They're going to keep going further and further and further until somebody finally puts a stop to it. Until somebody finally stands up for themselves and demands the respect that they deserve. It's that easy. Shit, I did it. I always demand respect because I'm a human fucking being. And I was given a second chance in this world for a reason. So the last thing I'm gonna put up with is people disrespecting me and disrespecting the people that I care about. It's fuck you till the day I die. All you people out there that have a problem with me and my connections, it's middle fingers until the day I die. Specifically because the Christ that I follow, my Black Jesus, the Jesus that I follow, he turned over tables. He condemned all evil. He spoke out against the evil. The real Christ that I served was a real gangster. So it's time for us to embody that gangster mentality, but the Jesus gangster mentality. If there are people disrespecting your culture and disrespecting your history, turn them tables over. Condemn these evil bitches. Tell them to get the fuck out. Get out. You disrespected me for the last time. They don't tell you this in the Presbyterian churches, in the Lutheran churches, in the Catholic churches. They don't tell you that Jesus was out here whipping bitches, spinning the block, pulling up, people disrespecting his temple. He came through them tables and had a riding crop. He was smacking them bitches. He said, the nerve of you to turn my father's house into a casino, a den of sin. Get thee behind. It's time for us to get back to that, to not taking disrespect and condemning evil in its entirety. No more giving people the benefit of the doubt. No more. Because that's what got us in trouble the first couple hundred times. Giving these people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they weren't talking about Black people. Maybe they're just angry because they lost their child. No. Fuck that. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I went on a whole spiel. Jesus Christ. I wasn't expecting to sit here and start preaching, but like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired and I'm pissed off. And you know what they say, being pissed off is better than being pissed on. Y'all just gonna keep letting these white people piss all over you and your legacy? No. Hell no. It's time to make tsunamis. That's the title of this sermon. That's the title. It's time to make tsunamis. I didn't realize how much we support the success of immigrants that come to America. They can't make money from other communities. That's true power we're finally wielding. Exactly. They'd rather burn it all down than give us what we deserve. We have to return that energy, period. Clock it. Period. Because if it's one thing that Senator Edward Kennedy taught me, it's that my life has value. My value runs deeper than simply the color of my skin. He didn't see some little black girl from the hoods of DC. He saw a real, genuine, wholesome spirit. He saw somebody who was Christ-like, who wanted to learn about everything, who wanted to learn and expand and grow and be something great. And he took the time to nurture that. He took the time to educate and provide wisdom and shield me from the darkness that loomed around. Because he knew every time he had me escorted to the Capitol, he always had Secret Service accompany me. 3, 4, sometimes 5 Secret Service agents escorting me to a goddamn limousine to go to the Capitol building. Because he knew that there were people out there that wanted to see harm done to me. Not because of anything that I did or anything that I said, but because there's just evil in the world. There are just very evil people that are dwelling among us, that are living normal, everyday lives, that have families, that go to church, that are sometimes leaders of the church. Evil exists everywhere. And that's why I'll always support media that shows that. That's why American Psycho is one of the most profound movies of this generation. Because it shows that evil is not some monster or some devil or some, cloven hooved figure with horns and a fucking gnarly beard. Evil can exist in the most boring, bland, unassuming looking people in the world. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be somebody that from work, somebody from your church, somebody from your family. Evil can exist everywhere, and you have to be prepared when it rears its ugly face. Oh, my mom's calling me. Hold on, y'all. Hello? Hey, Mom. I am streaming. I just finished preaching. Sister Jenkins. Uh-huh. Yeah. Ooh. Well, well, they were watching. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh. Threatened. Ooh. Ooh. No, you were right to say exactly what you said. You can't put up with that. People bullying and threatening people. Get that trash out. Take out the trash. You were right to speak up. Mm. Good. Good. I'm so glad they got her out of there. Karma is, in fact, a bitch. And they only call Karma a bitch because it doesn't discriminate. Oh, modern day Ruby Bridges. Oh God, no! Don't say that. Oh, that's making me. Oh no, because I read about Ruby. Louisiana. Nah, she could take that back to take that all that negativity back to Louisiana. Take it back. We don't want it. Return to sender. Mm. Get her on up out of there. Good, good. I hope they are. Mm. White girl or black girl? Black lady doing this? Old enough to know better? Mm-hmm. And I was just talking about that too to all the people that are live. Mama says hi, y'all. I keep trying to get her to here. Let me put you on speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, mom. Mom says hi.
Doing?
This is my mom, y'all. I keep trying to get her to react to some stuff with me. This is day 3 of trying to get her to react to something with me.
I don't know.
Like I don't know, but I was literally just talking about how black people need to be better because, you know, the white people are looking at them and then generalizing all of everybody else in with them. They're lumping everybody in with them.
That's true. Everybody doesn't act the same way, but I mean, it's just a few that make it bad for others. But I mean, you can't go around threatening people.
No.
You can't do that.
I'm glad they got her up out of there, because...
Yeah, they got her the hell up out of Dodge. Right. But I'm sorry to see her lose her job. Her mother, I'm sure, taught her better than that. Don't go around threatening, especially a supervisor, too. Come on now.
And, like, this is another point, y'all. It starts with the family. It starts with the parents. You know, we gotta make something change, and it starts within the household. It starts there.
That's right.
Because I was telling them about my relationship with Senator Kennedy. Like, I literally have the picture up here right now. I found an old picture of the two of us when we were doing the Everybody Wins thing, and I saved it.
You on the website?
No, it's not on the website anymore. They changed it, but I was able to save the picture. I took a screenshot of it, and I saved it to my Google Drive. So I pulled it up to show when we were talking about one of the books we were reading. And I was talking about how influential he was to shape me into who I am today. And I was telling him, I'm like, he was the closest thing to a grandfather that I had at the time.
That's right. And he was getting ready to start mentoring your brother as well.
Yep.
He asked me, could he mentor your brother?
Yep.
Very, very positive influence. And the thing, he was influential in having Barack Obama to come in and speak.
Yep.
For his, the inauguration speech that time for the former president.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that well. Senator Kennedy used to call me quite often. Looking for you. Looking to see if you could come.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm gonna get ready to go. I'm seeing one of my coworkers coming out of the Wawa.
All right.
So I'm gonna go on. But everyone have a good afternoon, and thank you for letting me come on and run my mouth for a few minutes.
Look, don't worry about it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. But I'm gonna be reacting to some stuff because Eve. Remember we were looking at the Tiny Desk concerts the other day? Yeah, Eve just did one. I can't wait
to see it then.
Yeah, she just did one a day ago.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be reacting to that.
Okay, well I want to see that when I get home.
Okay.
All right, dear. Love you.
All right, love you too, Ma.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. that was just a taste of our conversations that we have, because we were watching Tiny Desk the other day, and just we were talking about the instruments and the musicians, and we were talking about the vocalizations. We were really just kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other, and I had a really good time. So I brought up the idea. I was like, we should react like on camera sometime, react to some music and react to current events, because I think you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge that people could use, because you've been in that corporate world, in that the political world for so long. 40 years in the federal government is nothing to sneeze at, especially in the Library of Congress, where you're right there in close contact and proximity to House of Representatives, senators, literal just presidents. We need Mama on the channel. I'll probably put out another message. But she's been tapping into my channel little by little, because I was like, I genuinely think you would enjoy what I have to bring to the community. So she's been watching my videos, she's been giving love, she's been commenting on my stuff. Her and my dad have both been tapped in, and I wanna grow as a channel, because I want to help them out. I want to help my mom be able to, retire in peace. I want to get like a nice house somewhere where where she could relax. And she was like, can I get the granny room?" She's like, "I want the granny suite and a horse." I don't know why she said a horse. I'm like, horses have the biggest attitude. She was like, "I don't care. I want the granny suite," which is, if y'all don't know what the granny suite is, it's when you have a mansion or a house, right? And then you have another house that's in the back, that's right behind it, and it's connected by like a pathway or something, but it's a whole other house that sits in the back, and it's for the parents, the in-laws or something like. And a lot of wealthy families back then had this, because they were very close-knit families. They kept the families as close as possible. So they would have the main house, and then they would have the granny suite, where the grandmother or the grandpa would have their own house. And all appliances, the plumbing was working, the electricity, all of that. But it was just a separate house that was in the backyard. And you'd have to have enough land in order to get something like that. But she's like, "I want a granny suite and a horse." Those were those were her stipulations. Cause I proposed the possibility of me moving to Canada one day, to move in with my boyfriend, who's just such a fucking breath of fresh air. I still have to like remind myself that he is in fact a real person and not an artificial intelligence just designed to be like the perfect guy. Because he's the one that we watched Friday the 13th, and watched the horror movie that I was talking about by the Italian director. I still can't remember his name. I gotta drill that name into my memory. But she was like, "Yeah, I want a granny suite and a horse." So and I told her, I was like, if you come on the channel and we talk, and we get to interact with the chat, I think people would really like that. And I was like, there's so many channels out here where they're making content with their parents, and the parents are able to offer their input, and they're able to provide their wisdom and their knowledge to the rest of the audience, and they're able to provide something of substance, and it's something that uplifts the community, instead of keeping it boxed in this little corner. Like, I don't know, I think it would be a good idea. But she's shy. She's camera shy. She's kind of like how I was before I had to basically throw myself in the water. Immersion therapy, they call it. That's just, if you want to master the deep water, you just gotta jump in. And it's sink or swim. Thankfully, I had to teach myself how to swim. So I swam. I still get nervous every now and then, but at the end of the day, the show must go on. And, as I see the comments, I look at the comments all the time, and I just see random strangers, people that I have never met before, that are like, oh my God, I saw this video and it's everything that I needed. We need more voices like you in the community. Or like, I had such a great time reacting and I gained so much knowledge. Like, even my sister Nunu, she says she's my biggest fan. And it's crazy to think about that there are people out there that value what I'm bringing to the table, and that are actively tapped in and are supporting and are like, we want more. It's very surreal, honestly. The mother-in-law suite, yes, because that was typically reserved for either the grandparents or the mother-in-law whenever they moved in. She wanted the suite. She calls it the granny suite, but I know it's the, because it's just an old time thing. It might just be like an older time where it was like the grandma was the mother-in-law. I'm speaking from like the kid's perspective, not necessarily mine. Um because she's like, I want a house to where, the grandkids can come over and I can read to them and I can tell them all kinds of stories and stuff. And so when she's like, so when you have grandkids, I have a house to myself and they could come over whenever you guys want to go on a date night or something, or you guys want to go to an event. I'll be able to be there with the grandkids and help take care of them. So it's definitely being able to build a future like that and being able to have a clear idea of what I want to do in the future it's very refreshing. It's very, I guess, inspirational, because it gives me the courage to keep moving, because now I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The fog has dispersed and I am now seeing a possible future. I am seeing one of many futures, and it's becoming clearer and clearer. So I'm in it for the long haul, and I really want this channel to take off. And it's just finding some semblance of order with the channel, because I cover a lot of stuff. I go through music, I analyze music, I play video games, and so like I want to, it's like a triad, and I cover horror content, so I want to be able to bring all of this stuff together to where it's not on a schedule, but to where there's some semblance of consistency with what I'm putting out. So, Nick says you are making an impact on people. Oh, thank you, Noah. But yeah, I read that message you said, Miss Ashley, about the modern day Ruby Bridges, and I had to keep myself from breaking down, because I'm like, oh God, no, I'm gonna start crying, because I fondly remember the Ruby Bridges story. They made so many movies based off of her story. They made like short stories. I remember reading the books in the library during Black History Month. They had all kinds of books. I learned about the Little Rock Nine. I learned about, George Washington Carver. I learned about Madam C.J. Walker. I learned about, oh my God, what is his name? Oh my God, he was not a surgeon, but he was in modern medicine, or not modern medicine, but he was in I think he was a surgeon. God damn it, his face is right there. Light skinned guy. And he was very influential in surgical medicine. They even had books about Ben Carson back when, before he became a tap dancing coon. Learning about his impact on the neuroscience community, because people forget that Ben Carson was a neuroscientist. He is a neuroscientist, neurosurgeon, famous neurosurgeon. They made a movie about him starring Cuba Gooding Jr. People like Dr. Vivian Thomas. They made a movie about him, starring Mos Def and Alan Rickman. Rest in peace to Alan Rickman. We had so many. It was like they wanted us to learn about the great things that we came from. You don't see that anymore in libraries. You don't see books about influential figures in our history anymore. You don't see displays where people do projects about the different black inventors of our time, doing projects on influential black people. You don't see that anymore. And it's sad. We need to get back to it. We do. You know, it's time to remind our kids where we came from and to let them know that you do have options in life. The options are limitless because the sky is not the limit. You can go further. You can go beyond. You can reach for the stars and get there. Because our ancestors did. Sometimes with little to no support from the community that, or from the field that they were studying in, for the field that they were, they had allies within there that helped them, but ultimately the system was against them. They didn't want them to succeed. They tried everything they could to keep them suppressed. And it was because they were so resilient that they inspired people around them, people who were working in that industry, who were white, people who saw that resilience, and they were like, I want to be on the right side of history. I see this brilliant mind trying to make waves that is being suppressed only because of the color of their skin. I want to help them. I want to be a part of this. There's a revolution happening, and I want to be a part of it. And so that's why people who are providing something of substance within, especially the YouTube community, Black people in the YouTube community, that's why you guys are so important. Because television and public cable has become almost obsolete. I'll say it. It has become practically obsolete. And now people get all of their news and all of their information from the internet, from YouTube, from Twitter, from Facebook. And if they see people out there who are fighting for a good cause, who has faith in our communities and what we can accomplish, they will be tapped in and they'll be inspired to pursue the same path as you, to influence other people the way that you influence them. Because positivity, just like hatred, positivity, I would argue, spreads more. It's I won't say contagious. It's effective. It spreads. It's like flowers. When they cross-pollinate, they multiply. They survive and they thrive and they prosper. Because yeah, well, I guess I could say it. Positivity is contagious. I would argue it's more contagious than negativity. Because people actively want to feel better. They want the dopamine. They don't want to be depressed all the time. They actively go out and seek positivity. And when they see somebody uplifting their community, it inspires them. They get that second wind that they were looking for. Motivation, inspiration. That's what we need to strive to returning to. We need to get back to that. Motivating and inspiring our youth to be something great. Because they can. The power has been in them the whole time. And it's our jobs as people, as pillars of this YouTube community, especially in the Black YouTube community, it is our job to nurture these youths, to nurture these young, aspiring minds. to give them the proper nutrients that they need to usher in the next generation of Black greatness, of Black excellence. We need more Black excellence. We need to get back to Black excellence. And I think we can do it. We can. Because we've done it before. We've done it many times before. What's stopping us now? Social media allows you to make your own mind up about what you believe in and don't. It's full of lies, but you can find the truth and like-minded people. We don't need news of yesterday steering us. Exactly. We constantly pull from what our ancestors have done, the positive things. We pull the positive things of what our ancestors have done in order to motivate us to continue that cycle of positivity. That's why we read books about our famous Black inventors, our famous Black pioneers during the Civil War. Every single ally that has aided Black folk throughout history. All the white allies that we have amassed through politics, music, sociology, education. All of the white people that saw the greatness and the potential in us and saw a system that sought to destroy them based only on the color of their skin. And they said, fuck that. I don't want to live in that world. I want to live with them. They're on the right side of history. I want to be on the right side of history. Because I recognize greatness. Just as somebody recognized greatness within me. I want to help them. Because they're just like me. The only difference is that some of us were just out in the sun longer. That's all. That's the only difference. We all bleed the same color. All of our skeletons look the same. Our muscular systems look exactly the same. The only thing that separates us is melanin. And these people saw the truth. They saw the ugly truth, and they decided to do something about it. Instead of running and hiding and remaining complacent and benign, like a lot of these other white people do, where they know the injustice is there, they just refuse to do anything about it. They refuse to help because they don't want to be a part of it. It's not their fight. It's always been your fight because it was your ancestors that started it. The fight has carried down to you. What you choose to do with it is up to you. So to all of my white allies out there, all of my allies around the world that are actively helping us, that are standing by us during times of tribulation, I salute to y'all. Y'all deserve it. Because y'all are not sitting here and letting skin color dictate your opinion on your fellow brothers and sisters. Did Christ discriminate against us based on the color of our skin? No. He loved everybody. Loves presently. He loves everybody. Doesn't matter what their skin color is. It doesn't matter where they come from. Doesn't matter if they swear or if they drink. He still loves us the same. He loves everybody because he said, y'all are my brothers and sisters. Not my black brothers and my black sisters and my white brothers and my white sisters. No, he said, y'all are my brothers and sisters. Period. Such a simple concept, overcomplicated to such a degree by these white people that don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept the fact that Jesus loves everybody the same because they want to be the favorite. They want to be the important ones. They want to be the most loved because they feel inadequate all the time. And they constantly project that self-loathing onto the rest of the world. When it's written in your own books that Jesus loves everybody, period. And y'all are the first ones to try and say, oh, you're going to hell. You're going to hell for this. Jesus didn't preach that. Jesus didn't preach that. Half the shit y'all try to peddle around ain't even in the damn book. You misquoting scripture left and right, trying to claim yourself to be the self-righteous one. Have you ever actually taken the time to open the damn book and read it for yourself? Have you ever actually truly read the book and applied it to your life? Because I know that 90% of the ignorance within the Christian community would die if y'all motherfuckers would actually open that damn book and read it. But why would you do that? You're too busy to read the Bible. You got too much going on. The key to living a prosperous life is right there in front of you. And y'all lazy ass motherfuckers won't even read it. But then you want to think that you're going to heaven. You want to condemn everybody else to hell because you don't agree with their lifestyle. When the Bible is literally giving you a guideline on how to make it into heaven, on how to secure your spot. It's not a fucking competition. It's never been a competition. It is just, and I know this is a complicated, this is this complicated concept for some of y'all. Being a good person. That's it. Just be a good person. Be a decent human being. Not because you want to secure a spot into heaven, but because it's the right thing to do. And y'all can't grasp that. Y'all will never grasp it. Because it is a concept that is lost. Black people captured the soul and the spirit of Jesus's love. Love people because you do, because it's the right thing to do. Love people for who they are. It's not, I love you if. It's, I love you because. And a lot of y'all try to make love transactional. And it goes against everything that the Bible teaches. I love you if you do this for me, or I love you if you act this way, or I love you if you do this. No, that's not what they said at all. God didn't say, I am if you pray all the time, or I exist if you do this, or I exist if you do that. He said, I am because I am. And I love you because I love you. That's it. I love you because you're my children. I love you, period. There is nothing else. That simple. 3 fucking words. And a lot of these Christians can't seem to grasp that concept. But I'm the one going to hell because I swear, and because I watch things that are unchristian like, and because, I quote unquote blaspheme the name of God. Because I ride with Black Jesus. I'm the one that's going to hell because I don't go to church anymore. I'll keep saying it. It's not the faith. It's the people that ultimately ruin Christianity. It's always the people, the organization, the over-industrialization. You've steered so far away from the point. But y'all think y'all are going in the right direction. Y'all don't even know that you're headed right off a fucking cliff. Y'all got the nerve to be laughing at everybody else that actually follow his teachings, that don't consign to Christianity anymore, specifically because of y'all. You know how many atheists in the world were once Christians? A staggering amount. 90% of all atheists in the world were once Christians. Because they were abused and destroyed and taken advantage of by the very people that they trusted in the church. Religious abuse is one of the highest forms of abuse in the world. Right up there with sexual abuse. A lot of times it goes hand in hand. Because y'all have lost the plot. You lost it. The test, you failed, Christians. You failed. All of you, you failed. And you will keep failing over and over again until you relearn the concept of why the religion exists in the first place. Love your neighbor. Be a good person. Don't be a dick. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do is be a good fucking person. And y'all can't even get that right. So the reason why Christianity is dying, Christians, is because of y'all. You. It's your fault. That's why I follow the Christian faith. I don't follow the Christian religion. Because the religion has failed every single time. It has become a cult. And y'all want so badly to condemn, oh, it's the gays. Oh, it's the punks. It's the goths. It's the ones that dress in all black. It's the devil worshippers. Have you ever actually read the pillars of Satanism, y'all? Have y'all ever actually taken a look and read the pillars? The tenets, the core guidelines of Satanism. Have y'all ever actually looked at it? I can guarantee you haven't. I'm about to tell you right now. Love your neighbor. Don't be taken advantage of. Think for yourself. Be a good person. Respect each other. Know your worth. Know your place in the universe. That's it. That's it. I was like, my jaw hit the floor when I read this. And I got it from verifiable sources, all of your .org, .edu websites. 3 different sources. All said the exact same thing. But media interprets all of the Satanists as, you know, these cloak-wearing, murderous, satanic, devil-worshipping child sacrificers. When the only thing that makes them quote-unquote satanic is that they directly oppress the laws and the teachings of modern Christianity, of the Christian organization. They condemn the abuse and the exploitation of children. They condemn rape. They condemn murder. They condemn everything that for some reason seems to persist very heavily in the Christian religion. They don't judge people because of their life choices. They don't allow themselves to be abused and exploited for their talents. They pursue knowledge. They share that knowledge with the rest of the world. They follow the books in the Bible that the Catholic Church banned because they didn't want the people to know the truth. That's what's in the Satanic Bible. All of the books that the Catholic Church banned. That's it. I'm not going to go around saying, "Hail Satan." Hell no. I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not going to align myself with a figure that is evil. Like, that's just how it is. Evil exists. I'm not going to go around saying, "Hail Satan," because I'm not going to give all these old people a heart attack. But I'm going to say it, that the line between good and evil is not black and white anymore. Because they're the most heinous, horrid people that you can imagine, for some reason, always end up being some form of Christian. Always. It, like 100% of the time. All of your famous serial killers came from predominantly Catholic households. Predominantly Christian households. All of your child predators, Christian households. Christian leaders. Y'all have lost the plot, Christians, and it's not all of you. It's the ones that judge any and everybody instead of looking within themselves to get their soul right with Christ, to fix their relationship with Christ. They're so worried about everybody fucking else. Excuse me. Like, you know how many people in my comments have told me I'm going to hell because I wear dark makeup, or because I say the word nigga, or because I swear. You know how many people have told me that they tried to tell me where I'm going when I die? And I told them straight up, you don't tell me where I go when I die. You don't have that power. That's not your place. Fix your relationship with God first and then talk to me. And I know that the relationship's not good, because if your relationship with Christ was good, you wouldn't be out here casting judgment on people specifically for how they live their lives. I'm comfortable in my faith because I know who wakes me up. I know who inspires me to be great. I choose to follow this faith. I choose to say Jesus is my savior. That is my choice. I don't go to church. I don't interact with those Christians. I don't, I listen to my gospel. I listen to black gospel. I don't listen to that contemporary Christian bullshit. I don't try to restrict who I am as a person because I'm afraid that I'm not going to make it into heaven. Because being a good person and following Jesus' teachings should be enough. Because it is enough. If you lead with love and understanding and condemn all evil, that's all there is to it. Just be a decent person. See the person for the soul. See the soul that resides within them. If the soul is condemned and it's drenched in wickedness, you rebuke it. But if it's a soul that's lost and is actively trying to find somewhere to go, that's when you reach out to them and you let them know, hey, you're not alone. There is somebody out here that loves you. I don't even know you. I love you. Because it's, I'm gonna say it again, unity through grief. Kendrick said it. The very basic core teachings of love thy neighbor as you would have them love you. The golden rule. Did everybody remember the golden rule that they taught in schools? The golden rule? Treat others the way you want to be treated. Nobody knows. There's surprisingly few people that know about that anymore. They've lost sight of the golden rule. It's simple. That's why it's the golden rule. Because it is the number one rule, the teaching straight from the Bible. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's that simple. That's it. There is no catch. There is no hidden clause. There is no fine print. It's just love. That's it. It's just be a good person. Love people. Lead with love. And condemn wickedness. If somebody is actively causing you harm, whether it's physical or emotional or mental, condemn them. You rebuke them. Being around evil in any form should make you sick to your stomach. And do I know if there's a heaven or a hell? No. We don't know. We can try to say that we know all we want, but at the end, we don't. Because we don't know what God sees. We don't know what He sees. We don't know the grand design. We want to know so badly, but we don't. And that's just the reality. We'll never know until we actively get there. We don't know where we're going. All we can do in the immediate is make our lives as plentiful and bountiful as possible. Make our time here on earth the best that it can be. And prepare our legacy, prepare our generation, our next generation for their life. Nurture that fire that dwells within you, and then pass that torch on to the next generation. And it starts with love. I grew up in a household that taught nothing but love. And yes, the outside world tried to destroy that. But at the end of the day, love still prevailed. Because it doesn't matter how many times me and my mom fought. At the end of the day, once we settled down and once, we actually started communicating, at the end of the day, we still loved each other. And we've come to an understanding now. And it took so much of having a conversation, sitting down, talking, gaining new perspective, being open-minded, and choosing love over anger, love over pride, that ultimately ended up healing our relationship. Another fair point on Crybaby, can't find my religion. I don't agree with Satanism at all, but they do their studying, they know their book. And you can do that. There are religions everywhere. You don't have to agree with the religions. But there are religions out here that they all teach the same ideologies. They all teach the same core ideologies: being a good person and inner peace, loving yourself and loving others. Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, Shintoism, they all teach love. Love yourself and love the people around you. But I've yapped on for like two and a half hours. I want to get to this reaction because where is it at? Right here. I want to get to this because shout out to Sweet Cookies. She is a true Rough Rider through and through, heavily supporting the channel. She was like, Eve just did a Tiny Desk concert, and she was like, can you react to it, please? So that's what I'm about to do right now. Let me turn the audio on, and then bam. Let me know if this is too loud for y'all. I might need to turn it up. I don't know. But I haven't really listened to a lot of Eve. I'll say that. I know who she is. I know who she is as an artist. I know who she is as an actress, because she's been acting a little bit. I've seen her in a couple movies, but highly influential in our culture. Highly influential. She was one of the female R&B singers that I forgot about, actually, when I was like going through my list. Like you're trying to make my screen a little smaller. There we go. And I can't believe I forgot about her. And I'm sorry, Eve. I'm sorry. Listen. From one black woman to another, I am so sorry. Charge it to the brain, not the heart. But without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this because I want to see this.
Support for NPR Music comes from Capital One, proud supporters of NPR Music and the Tiny Desk Contest. What's in your wallet? Learn more at CapitalOne.com.
I'm not going to say shout out Capital One because their business is shady. Oh, yeah. Because when I do Spinning the Block, I didn't even realize you were going to do a reaction. When I do Spinning the Block, I cover everything. Current events, I yap a little bit, I talk about the state of affairs, and then I do reactions because music reaches deeper than words ever could. So, I love music. That's what got me through it. We survived outside all from the music, nigga. What?
I'ma do this thing like it ain't done before. Never leave the crowd hungry. I had to give more. I'ma give you what
you better talk your shit, queen.
Make the music that the people can't ignore. A lot of dudes is bitches. A lot of bitches.
Oh my gosh, she looks so good. She still got them paws. I see. Okay, bitch. Yes.
Most dudes is okay. Talking about what they want to do.
Okay, when I tell y'all, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be pausing a lot. When I tell y'all these queens are aging in reverse, they are aging like fine wine. Eve, Shaka Khan, Jill Scott, they are all aging in reverse. Remy, they're aging in she looks so good.
Hey yo, ask them what they life worth, watch them draw blank. I really ain't got no interest if it don't involve the bank. Most of the time I'm nice too, I'm half the time I'm not. It ain't nothing new though, learning from off the block. People
damn.
I change much cause I'm living good. Glad they get my voicemail, hear them calling me. Sometimes I feel bad, most of the time I don't. Cause if I don't protect my shit, someone to neglect my
if I don't protect my shit, other niggas won't. Exactly. Woo! You better speak on it.
But I'm staying on my grind, never going back to broke. Come on, anything I want, I'ma get it cause I know I need it. It's TV coming and I know you heat it. Anything I need.
I love that they got her album in the back.
Ain't nothing better, need the satisfaction, everything I am. Just because I had to make it happen. They never thought that I would make it rapping. Anything I need.
All the musicians, black. I love this.
Tiny Desk, y'all feeling good?
I love this so much.
What y'all really want? Ruby, Poppy screaming out of their mouth. Bombshell, just a second, mommy wanna speak out what I need in my life.
YouTube is gonna demonetize it, but it is what it is.
Mary Duke stick out like I'm balling, y'all. Guess I'll be appalling, y'all. Boss type, hold it
She
down.
hasn't been very active since she got married. You know what? I respect her for it. You know, because it's hard balancing your musician life with your personal life, because a lot of times the shit that happens in your music career can influence your family life and it can become a strain. So shout out to her for really like taking a step back and focusing on her family, because there are a lot of songs that's about, you know, people that couldn't balance it. You know, they valued their work too much and they didn't value their families enough. You know how many breakup songs there are out there about men and women even, who are in regret because they didn't value their families over their work? Gorgeous. She is gorgeous. Oh my God. Just
never chasing me down.
Black truly does not crack. Not even a little bit.
She dating the clown. I'm taking them down. Drill them in and making them drown. Mistake. I said give me, but I'm taking it now. What I need from a dude, negative in the sound. Audacity, even asking Eve for ass. I laugh, the chick is fast and free. So I aim them off when I see this dude is a
She's spitting.
Calls for riches millionaire. Come on. What y'all want? Hey.
What y'all want?
All y'all really need. It's right here with, hey, sounds y'all wanna hear. Who that? Who that?
Woo.
I'm the one to fear. Hold up, popular since I started my life. If you know my name, probably the dangerous type. Brick house, stallion, think you taming me right? Not this baby down, Philly streets, they raising the right.
Woo! Shout out to Philly streets.
Need boots, pocketbooks, and a baby 380. But keep it calm and cool. When I'm heated, I suggest you move. Just avoid a bad situation. You got to prove.
What you got to prove?
Mad they man is obsessed and stalking me. If he icy enough, I'm pricing the stuff. Be nicey enough to let him spin. I'm calling your bluff. Putting it down. Rough Riders putting they work.
Rough Riders putting they work. Yes. Woo! We was just talking about it. Shout out to the Rough Riders. Rough Riders. Don't make me start barking on here. Y'all want to call me a goth pit bull? I took the name and I ran with it, bitch. I took the fucking name. Bark, bark, bitch. Shout out to Eve, by the way. If I look this good after having a kid, just Lord, blessed. She is blessed and highly favored. But shout out to all my Rough Riders. Oh my God, Eve, I'm done now. You would come back in here when I started barking. Y'all would start coming in here when I'm acting a fool.
Changing the game, setting the rules, making it worse. One more time, y'all. What y'all really want? What they want, huh? Can't touch. Yeah, all y'all really need. Hey, it's right here with. Come on. Sound y'all want to hear. Who that? Who that? Come on.
I see Big White Chocolate in the back on that guitar. Okay.
Hey, y'all feeling good?
Okay, I see you, but brother back there with the thick ass beard. Look, okay, if it's one thing I love, this is my type right here. Just the big, kind of stocky. They've got the strength. They're built, but they're big. Like, I like the athletic ones. They're fine, but you know, the ones that look very huggable. Like a big old teddy bear, but it's just a beard, full beard and everything. Oof, there's something about it.
Yeah. We're gonna take you on a little journey.
Oh, you just now leaving the school? Okay. I did give my little message to nephew. So
yeah.
Oh, here we go. Shout out to Tiny Desk Concert.
If y'all know it, sing it, y'all. Got a man that I think I'm gonna love forever. We'll be together. No matter where he goes, I'll be thinking of him. I'm gonna love him. I got a man that I think I'm gonna love forever. And forever we'll be together. No matter where he goes, I'll be thinking of him. Come on. I
Okay, y'all hit that shit, background singers.
Hey, I'm gonna love him. I got a man that I think I'm. Come on.
Shout out to this girl right here, Queen over here on the piano. She is just that voice. I hear you, girl. I hear you. I hear you coming through, and I'm liking what I'm hearing. Shout out to the background singers too. But this girl right here, she is really singing her ass off. And I just gotta give love to everybody. Also, I love the fact that Black people are reclaiming the alternative fashion. I love that. We are wearing chains now, like the chain wallets and shit, and the earrings, and we've shaven our heads. We're wearing like the bandanas again. We've got the thick glasses. We're wearing plaid again. I love this shit. I love that we are reclaiming the punk alternative goth style. Taking it back.
Where he goes, I'll be thinking of him. I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna love him.
Woo!
Hey, hey. Just wanna holler.
Damn.
Hold up. Need you to understand me, daddy, I ain't your average. Baby girl, doing it, dog, I'm well established. I ain't trying to lead your own, just wanna ask if you might wanna give me your name, explain your status. You know I see you time to time, you seem available. Don't mean shit, I know these bitches wanna settle you. Gotta say you want my shit.
All our songs are coming back to me now. I'm trying not to pause it too often because, like I said, this is a concert. We just gonna enjoy it.
Won't wanna do without it, no, I'm coming at your heart, needing a thug. And I ain't giving up till I get that gangster love.
Woohoo!
Just wanna
Shout out to the background singers. Not a person out of key.
one more time. Just wanna come on, come on.
Shout out to Mr. Bassist and the Congo player, the bongo in the back.
Always I look tight, hair done, outfit banging.
Shout out to everybody, especially dude on the turntable.
I walk in demanding all lies, baby, here I am, ain't ashamed of my frame, and I know you
Spit your shit, Eve.
over you, popping, I ain't stopping. A lot of action in your corner, yeah, you feel it too. The only thing to make it better though is me with you, and I know you're feeling that regardless of your front end. Plus I heard through the streets it was E you wanting. Now let me find out you shot something, but I know you're not, so stop your games. Hey, one more time. Just wanna holla. Hey, come on, y'all. Just wanna come on.
I want to see them dance emojis in the chat. If you really rocking with this shit, I want to see y'all grooving in this fucking
Okay,
chat.
Numbers exchange, now it's in place. Shouldn't have took them so long in the first place. I'm just playing cutie, yeah, give me a call.
Woo!
No, it's cool, you ain't gotta see me to my car. See, I'm a
All right, big boy on the drums in the back. He's my type too. I like my men with some. I love my men with some weight on them, man. You better sing it, Queen. She had the. She put some pizzazz on it. Jazz hands. Woo. Oh, to be able to see this live, bro. Oh my god. This is her song with Alicia Keys. Oh god. To be able to see Alicia Keys. Get Alicia Keys on Tiny Desk concert. Get her on there. Pronto. Okay, Maxwell. They're giving that soulful background. Exactly. Even homegirl in the middle with the Edna Mode glasses on, looking like Edna from The Incredibles, singing her ass off.
Hey, come on, bounce, come on, bounce, come on.
Shout out to the go-go scene, by the way. That's a DC tradition. That's born from the streets of DC.
Shake your asses, face screwed up like you're having hot flashes. Which one? Pick one. This one classic.
Shout out to the godfather of go-go, Chuck Brown. Rest in power, King.
Listen to me, baby, relax and start passing. Expressway, head back, weaving through the traffic. This one strong should be labeled as a hazard. Some of y'all rappers hot, psych, I'm gassing. Clowns, I spot them and I can't stop laughing. Easy come, easy go, Evie gon' be lasting. Jealousy, let it go, results could be tragic. Some of y'all ain't writing well, too concerned with fashion.
Damn.
You ain't Giselle, can't walk in the magic.
You better fucking tell him.
Drama, cast it, cut, bitch, camera off. Come on, y'all.
Woo!
Come on. 1 year, and I got my foot. And Eve ain't going nowhere. I said,
Period.
come on.
Ain't going nowhere.
The
fuck?
Don't fight that good shit. Now let me blow your mind. They ought to thank her, prank her, make speakers bleed. Shank her, haters wanna come after me. You ain't a gangster, prankster, too much TV. Snakes in your path, wanna smile up at me. Now while you gritting your teeth, frustration, baby, you got to breathe. Take a lot more than you to get rid of me. You see, I do what they can't do. I just ain't no stress when it comes to stage. Get what you see. Meet me in the lab, pen and pad. Don't believe, 16th mine. Create my own lines. Love for my wordplay.
Write your own shit.
Sophomore, I ain't scared. One of them. All I do is contemplate ways to make your fans mine. Eyes bloodshot, stress and chills up your spine. A tiny desk. One more time.
I like how she threw that in there.
1 year, and I got my foot up, and I ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
And I'm gonna take my time. Don't fight that good shit. Hold up. Now let your bones crack. Your back pop, I can't stop. Excitement, block shots from your stash box. Fuck it. Thugged out, I respect the cash route. Lockdown, blast this sets while I mash out. Yeah, y'all mash out. Come on, backtrack, think back. Do you like that? Yeah, you got to. I know you. Had you in the trance first glance from the flow too. Don't believe I show you.
I'm sorry, if y'all not dancing to this, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you.
Trust in a born winner, listen to me. Damn, she much thinner, no. Now I'm complete. Still styling, y'all. Brick house, pollen on, ride or die, bitch. Double all camp strong. Beware, cause I crush anything I land
Spit
on.
her ass
It was
off.
never a mistake. Come on. Hey. 1 year, and I got my foot up, and I ain't going nowhere. I said, and I'm gonna take my time.
Shout out to Eve in the Tiny Desk concert, y'all. Yes, bitch. Yes.
Thank y'all.
Yes, bitch.
Thank you for your energy. We appreciate y'all.
Whew.
Okay. We gonna shake it a bit? I think we about to shake it a little bit.
As if we weren't already before? What you mean? We can shake it more? Oh, here we go. Get them tambourines.
Come on. Hey. Full surface.
Bangers.
Tiny desk.
Bangers. Woo! Oh, he's fucking that turntable up.
We gon' shake.
You better fucking get it.
Shake. He come through in a Maserati. Doing it big like I live in the Taj Mahal. Talk shit, I don't get in the blah. Why, y'all? That's what they love me,
Woo! Yes. They are killing it. Oh, I see you, bassist. He's about to start shaking that ass. Bust down. And we dance because we got joy in our soul. Woof. They can't kill this shit. Woof. This is that pure black joy.
Keep you up on your feet the whole night now. Pop them bottles, yeah. Got you feeling crazy, well.
That was the
Ow.
plan.
You know I'm talking about Swiss. Oh yeah, I know you wanna fight it. Why would you try?
This my twerk song?
We do it big, man. Why would we lie? Come on.
1, 2, 3, everybody.
Hey.
Come on. Come on.
The way I would have been busting it down in that room. Oh my God. Oh, that drummer. I love this percussion.
Yeah, I'm shaking down the town. Take a picture.
Woo!
Gotta love that. How she keep it going on? Gotta love that. But to the beat like a pro, no, you love that. Go ahead and shake it to the flow. Gotta love that. Get your ass on the dance floor. Dance on the dance floor. Move them out the way if they ain't doing it how you want yours. You ain't got to ask, keep giving more. Don't need my permission, y'all.
Hell yeah. God. She out here killing this shit.
One more time, we gon' shake, 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 shake.
You better get it, Edna. I'm gonna keep calling you Edna. I'm sorry. I know you have a name, sis, but you're Edna. It's Edna. Don't smile too much like that, Mr. Big White Chocolate. I see you in the background. You can't be smiling like that. Woo! I'm telling you, man, I know I got a man, but you better be careful. Don't be smiling at me like that.
Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all again. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your love. Philly meets London. Like my worlds have collided.
London. She's got people from the UK in there.
Thing. So let's get into this next one. Y'all help us out. Hey, come on.
I really forgot who Eve was. All the people that forgot, let this be a reminder. Oh, I've heard this song before.
You can't tell me, I keep him sexy daddy, so I can't fail. Keep it gangster for the cowards, so I give him hell.
Ooh, give him hell, bitch.
Gang of trash, riskless now, cause I made a gang of cash. Life glam, still street with the do-rag. Slang, spit, game, change speech, how they do that. Watch they mouths drop, watch the crowds pop up and act out. Brawls with the screw face, smash on and knock out. Ain't change game to run me, I run the game. Gotta keep it gritty, so be it. I'm supposed to change life simple.
Keep it gritty.
With my mental. Natural born hustling chick, check what I've been through.
Ooh,
took it from you,
preach.
Come on, one more time.
One more time. Woo! Oh my God.
Come on.
And she had to remind everybody, who's that girl? Remind them.
I can understand why they scared of Eve. Thought I did it one way, ain't prepared for me. Mad cause an image I don't care to be. Realness, real shit.
The right balance of hood and classic. Eve. Hood classic. So this is a certified hood classic. But this is like you said, that hood classic. That perfect fusion. You have some class, but you don't forget where you come from.
They get down, I get down for this paper. 16, me from my pen. You should test her. You need to know who I am and cop the record. Take it like a class on me. Learn a lesson. Bottom line, my world, my way.
Here we go.
Come on. Hey.
I'm gonna wait for the song to end and then I'm gonna give my thoughts. I'm not cutting this shit off. Fuck that. Spit your shit, queen.
I'ma get this bank anyway that I do this shit. I was born to shine.
Cha-ching.
Y'all's borderline bullshit. Know exactly what I want from me. You cats is clueless. Dose flow through my hands like keep stocks growing for my son or my Eve wanna own cash. Fuck what you bought her. Keep spinning you owe. That's where mommy's water. So hardball is played. Won't start the day. Song after song I write so I get paid.
you ain't coming for that chili, what you come for? Hey.
While I shove it down, make 'em love me over again.
I'm gonna start going crazy.
Bet you hating over your style and over your fame. Why you looking sad at me? I ain't to blame. Back to playing, baby. One more time.
You better fucking say it, bitch. You sad and miserable. Don't look at me. It ain't my fault.
Hey, yo, he's that girl.
Every single musician is just in perfect harmony. Okay, Miss Soprano. They are fucking it up right now. Sing it, Maxwell. I'm gonna call you Snackswell because you looking like a whole snack. Did I say that? Yes! Yes, bitch! Yes, queen. Oh my god. Your cheek, yours? My cheeks hurt. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Tiny Desk, Eve, everybody on the musician squad. Just shout out to y'all. Shout out to NPR, okay? NPR and the Tiny Desk concert. Shout out to them. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was amazing. We needed that. We needed that reminder. We needed, one, the lightening of the mood, and two, we needed that breath of fresh ideas, of that breath of fucking finesse and grace and style and musicianship and harmony and melody. We needed Eve to come back and remind everybody who's that girl. There's a Philly girl at heart. She letting everybody know it on Tiny Desk. And I love Philly. Philly's our neighbor to the north. We love our Philly people. Lots of people I know have come from Philly. That's the cousin that lives up there. That's the cousin that, you know, they respect where they come from, but they're not on a bunch of stupid shit. Not like Baltimore. Baltimore's kind of crashing out right now. We need to we gotta need to rein them in a little bit. But shout out to Eve, shout out to the Tiny Desk concert, shout out to all of the musicians. The backup singers, on point. The musicians, on point. The percussionists, on point. Wasn't a motherfucker out of place or out of tune or out of sync. It was perfect. It was about as close to perfection as you could get. Just, they all knew exactly what they came to do, and they killed that shit. From everybody from Big Boy on the guitar, Big White Chocolate on the guitar, my brother on the drums, brother on the bass, brother on the bongos, and then we got Snackswell over there on the backup vocals with Miss Edna Mode from The Incredibles, and then we had Homegirl on the piano, on the keyboard, killing them vocals. Just absolute perfection. It gets you so, it's like a second wind. It gets you invigorated. It fills you with that passion. Like, I had a great time. I love that. And I can't wait for my mom to see this, because I know she is going to enjoy it. She's gonna love this shit. Period. Like, shout out to Eve, man, because I didn't realize that you had so many bangers under your belt. Spitting heat, spitting ether, and the way she rode the beat too, it was so smooth and classy, and it was the swag. She had pizzazz, finesse, but she was like, she kept it the way she did. She was not afraid to have fun. And it was like she sounds exactly the same as she did 10, 20 years ago. Her vocals haven't changed a bit. She's still got style. Oh my God, I love this resurgence of old influential artists that are coming back, especially our black women, our black female artists, our rappers, our R&B singers, our alternative singers, our soul, our neo soul. I love that they're all making a resurgence. They're reminding people they never went away. They never stopped. She clearly never stopped singing. And I mean singing. I don't mean singing. She didn't stop rapping. She didn't stop singing. You could tell. It was like she never left. Just, oh my God. Shout out to the Tiny Desk. Man, I know I said I was gonna get some gaming done on here, but like I have to end it on that high note. What other way is there to end it? I have to end it there because it's literally perfect. Bye, 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 bye. Philly and Jersey have been out here killing the shit. Out here killing the shit. Even people like Meek Mill coming back out from the shadows. Y'all, this is a good time for music. We are in a very good place. I'm gonna keep saying it. We have entered the platinum era of music. We have. When it comes to black music, we are in our platinum era. Stop laughing at me. I'm gonna keep calling him Snackswell. Because he was hitting them falsetto notes. He was getting it too, looking like a whole snack. And I noticed he had the green hair too. It was a little bit, you couldn't tell, but he had that green. I saw it. I'm like, okay, I thought I was the only bitch over here rocking green and black hair. I see you with a shaved head. Snackswell, you saw them cannons. Did y'all see them cannons that he was hiding under that shirt? He worked out. Probably just as gay as he want to be. But you know what? Fine. Still fine. Snackswell. She's always had dope cadences and slid on tracks. Exactly. And she did. She did. She really she killed the damn thing. Absolutely phenomenal. Now I gotta go back and listen to her discography. And really bump it and listen to what she was saying. Cause like I said, my exposure to hip hop is still very new. So I'm going down this rabbit hole. God damn it. And I'm gonna take y'all with me. I'm gonna start putting out, I'm gonna start breaking down lyrics. I'm gonna start breaking down some of her stuff. Joe, if y'all know Joe, the R&B singer, he just did a Tiny Desk concert not that long ago. Me and my mom watched that on the big TV. And then we watched the Jill Scott concert that she did when she was on the Tiny Desk concert, and it was just, we had a great time. Oh, that's right, Clips was on Tiny Desk. What? See, now I gotta go back and react to that. But I'm gonna definitely do it in another video. We have approached the 3-hour mark, and I think that is a fitting number to go out on. We've been talking about the rule of 3. What better number to end than the 3rd hour? But I want to thank everybody that came through, everybody that came to hang out and chat. Miss Ashley, New Nation, Noah. I think I saw Wayne in here at one point. But just shout out to you guys, man, for really sitting in and having this conversation and this discussion, because it was a conversation that we needed to have. But I love that we can pivot from such a serious topic and then in the same breath go and celebrate what makes our culture so special and so unique and worth fighting for. because that's how we've survived. It's the music that has given us the hope and the inspiration and the motivation to keep going. From golden era to platinum era. I love that. Exactly. Yeah, see? Like with Cisco, when he dyed his hair platinum and started going platinum on his records, that's what we're doing. That's what music is doing right now. And I think Kendrick was like the usher to that. He was the one who kicked the door open and held that bitch open. And we are in a platinum age of music right now. Everybody is bringing their A game to the table. And notice how the only people that aren't bringing their A game are the ones that want to stay in the past. The ones that don't want to evolve their sound. The ones that don't bring the ones whose music I'm getting tripped up over my words. The ones whose music doesn't come from a pure place, from a real place. The one whose music is artificial. It's all AI. It's all the same 808s over and over again. Drake! I'm looking at you, Drake! Drake! 3 albums of boo-boo! Meanwhile, everybody else are putting out platinum. Vince Staples, Imani. We had fucking Clips putting out an album. Jid put out his album. Fucking Kendrick with GNX. Still a banger to this day. Still a banger. We have just had album after album after album come out and remind people. Jill Scott she released an album. Kim dropped an album too. And they're all amazing. All of these artists black music is resurging. We are in a resurgence of black excellence within the music scene. Like Lazarus being resurrected in the tomb. We have breathed new life into our genres. And we are now on top of the world again. We are back. We have cleared out the rot. We have cleared out the bullshit. We have condemned the fakers and the parasites and the leeches. And it's about the music again. We have cast out the Taylor Swifts, the Sabrina Carpenters, the fucking the Music Stole Childs, whatever the fuck his name, Jack Harlow, him, that pussy. I Got Blacker. We condemned all of that bullshit. And we have kept it about the music. We kept the soul, the black joy. Thank you, Miss Ashley. The black joy. Because it is written, you can cry for a night. But what comes in the morning? Joy. Always. And that's the one thing that these white people will never destroy. Black joy. That shit is divine. The purest aspect of joy has lived on and persisted through generations of abuse. Think about that. And it's survived through the music, the fashion, the food, the tradition. Black joy will always persist. And in this day and age, even with all of this pushback, all of this backlash from these white people, I will always say that I am proud to be black. Black is the most gorgeous color. It will always be it. Isaiah Rashad, thank you. Baby Keem, Isaiah Rashad. I'm so excited, and my brain in the immediate, it can't pull from this huge lexicon, and then I'll think about it later. I'm like, fuck, I forgot about Casino. I forgot about fucking, what the fuck was the album's name? It's Been Awful. I forgot about them. But it's not because I'm not thinking about them. It's because, like, I still have Casino on heavy rotation. I still have It's Been Awful on heavy rotation. I still have Paper Cut on heavy rotation. That album is fire. And if, I swear, Remy, if you come out with an album, I'm reacting to it. Don't you fucking, don't do that. Don't tease us with getting on the freestyles, and then you're not gonna drop nothing. You're not gonna drop an album or an EP or nothing. You're just gonna leave us hanging. I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be in your window. I'm gonna be peeking in the window like, where's the album? Where's the album at, chick? We waiting. Where's that motherfucking album? Always the one, never the two. Where's the album at? As the industry dies, real artistry is revived. And I have been saying it over and over and over. The party is dead. And we are rejoicing the new life that has been restored to Black music. That has been restored to music in general. Because as I've said before, there are white artists that are still making good music. Lady Gaga, we just reacted to her song with Doechii. Runway, banger of a song. Lady Gaga's still out here killing this shit. Celine Dion, still out here killing this shit. John B with his fine ass, still out here killing the shit. I think him and his wife just celebrated their 17th anniversary. Black woman, by the way. He is with a gorgeous Black queen. That's a Black man. I don't care what y'all say. He's just light-skinned. Bobby Caldwell, I'm sorry that he light-skinned. Light-skinned. That's what we calling him. Even when I showed my mom who John B was, after she heard the song, she's like, yeah, I remember this song. I was like, that's a white guy. She was like, what? She's like, I thought he was like Dominican or something. I'm like, no, that's a whole white man. So yeah, no, Black man. They can't understand it. They're perplexed. But I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, because I want to definitely take that segment, the Eve reaction, and I'm going to upload that as its own video onto the channel, just to kind of to tide things over just until I get my other Vince Staples reactions out. And I'm also working on the Kendrick Lamar Is Edgar Allan Poe. That video is taking a lot of work because there's a lot of editing that is going into that video. I'm going to start dedicating more time into editing my stuff for my music analysis stuff. So I'm working on that. I'm also working for stuff for my horror channel, so be on the lookout for that too. But as always, I have been Nixus, and I will catch you guys in the next live stream. Take care, y'all. Also, shout out to all of the artists that have put out music. Shout out to Imani, shout out to Vince Staples, shout out to Kendrick Lamar, shout out to Baby Keem, shout out to Isaiah Rashad, shout out to Eve, shout out to Jill Scott. Shout out to all of these people. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Black. Shout out to the color Black. Period.